Hi, Angel here. Thanks for stopping by. I'm thinking today about confidence. I was listening to a woman who I admire, Barbara Corcoran, I think her name is. I might be pronouncing that wrong. She's kind of famous for being on Shark Tank, and she's also a well-known real estate investor. Highly successful, self-made woman. Well, she had a successful husband for a while, so I guess you can make the argument that that helped make her. But in her story, she was telling of how both she felt lucky that she got the connections that she did, and also how she feels that she's self-made in that she, she's explaining how she, in the story that I just listened, she was explaining how she gained strength from the other people doubting her when her husband cheated on her and married her secretary, and told her he didn't think she could be anything without him. She used that anger as fuel to be even more successful than she might have been had he not said those things to her, or had she not been in that emotionally stressed place. So I was reflecting on that, and how interesting it is that sometimes we use what people say to feel better, and sometimes we use what people say to feel worse. And I was talking yesterday about how we shouldn't feel better or worse according to what anyone else says, that self-worth is inherently ours, and that we should always, have that from our center. And I still really wholeheartedly believe that. Still, I find her story interesting, and it had me reflecting on how I do sometimes, like she was talking about, really appreciate when someone challenges me or doubts me or doesn't believe in me, because it gives me that little extra push to prove them wrong, a little extra incentive to show my confidence, my competence, and helps me gain a little more confidence. So I guess I'm just talking about it because I'm really hoping to do a better job, and I encourage you, um, however good of a job you're doing, to examine that, to really see if you're. Let me back up and say, I think that it's okay to use what people say as fuel, as long as you're not hanging your self-worth on that. So um, ultimately, whether I make money or not, whether I'm successful in my own eyes or not, doesn't take away from my own self-worth, my right to being, because I am. So same with you. Whether you are a complete fuck up in your own eyes, or the most successful, more successful than you could ever dream, either way, you have equal right to be. We all do. So I want to separate that worthiness of being from that achieving your successful self that you're striving for, and that I am here to encourage you to strive for, and that I myself am striving for. And I think in achieving our best self, as according to ourselves, then using other people's doubt in you can be a great tool. I think it's super important not to use it as a tool to put yourself down. But if you can learn to use that as a tool to lift yourself up, as a tool to motivate you, to push against, as exactly something to push against, to say, no, you're wrong, and I'm going to show you why or how. Or even a little less confidently, I think you might be wrong, and I'm willing to fail. I'm willing to try. I'm willing to see, to find out, to see if you're right or wrong when someone else doubts me or you. I think that is a real door opener, a real key, a real unlocker for reaching a higher potential. When I listen to the people that I admire that are successful in business, they often talk about exactly that: overcoming a challenge, overcoming their strife or their struggle, their rock bottom. Lisa, gosh, her name. I'm got a problem with last names lately, but anyhow, one of the mentors that I listen to frequently talks about the dip, and that being, the low point in a story, which then everything else bounces off of in order to make a good story. So yeah, I think if you think of your life like a story, that those moments where somebody puts you down, that's what might not be the big dip, but they are like little dips where you can use those to push against. So like with this Head Hutt, take a look around. When I was building the floor, when I picked up the Vigas, as I mentioned in part whatever it was about the deck and the Vigas, when I went to pick those up, the man who sold them to me said, "Oh, you're not going to be able to get those in your van by yourself, and also they're too heavy for your van, and you're not going to be able to get those out of here today by yourself with what you brought." And I said, "Well, I understand why you say that. That makes sense, but you don't know me, and so you can come out and help, or you can watch me." And I proceeded to get it done. And it's one of my favorite parts of the story of building this structure. There are many, and a lot of them have to do with overcoming that challenge, with gaining the confidence to do something when somebody else didn't have the confidence in me. And even I wasn't sure how, but I just knew I could do it. And that's how I feel with the current big project that I'm working on. I really don't know how I'm going to do it. I just know I'm going to do it, or I'm going to keep failing, while I try. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to do it because that's just how I feel about it. It's not a question of am I. It's just a matter of watching the universe unfold the how and the when and the where and the who's, because it's a bigger project than I've ever taken on before, and so there's a lot of unknown factors from here. Anyhow, that was a rambly 2 cents. I'm going to wrap it up right there and say I hope you are having the confidence to enjoy, to fully push yourself, to really bloom into who you want to be. And even if you don't have the confidence, just fake it for yourself. Don't fake it for anybody else. Just tell yourself yes you can, and believe it and do it. Till next time, peace, prosperity, and possibilities.